Welcome to the module on the steps of the buying process. Our outcomes are to reduce the stress of the buying experience by providing a clear and upfront guide on the purchasing journey, and to give useful tips and raise caution around common shortcomings at each stage of the journey. This is most useful for owner-occupiers and property investors. Buying a property can be a roller coaster of emotions. It can be stressful, exciting, frustrating, and exhilarating. For many people, purchasing an owner-occupied or investment property is one of the largest transactions you will ever make. So it makes sense to have some idea of the journey you're about to go through. There is a lot of content online to provide insight into this process and what takes place. Our recommendation is to break the journey down into the following stages. Step 1. Clarify budget and borrowing capacity. We propose considering these together, as budget is very much determined by what you can borrow. Credit history, income level, and other assets are some of the factors which impact borrowing capacity. People who can help you at this stage include accountants, financial planners, and mortgage brokers, who will in particular help you determine what affordability looks like for you, as well as how much you can borrow. Things to take extra care with. Don't get too optimistic about future pay increases in salary or income. Take a conservative approach. Consider what is already on the table now. When considering your budget, remember that your lender will actually do their own valuation on the property you end up buying, which is normally very conservative and may be below your purchase price. This will impact your lending parameters. There are other expenses associated with buying. Don't miss these. These could be associated with the team you hire. They could be associated with building inspections, mortgage expenses, and stamp duty, for instance. Step 2. Look at loan options, know the marketplace, and solidify pre-approval. This is where you select the best loan deal available to you. There are factors to consider like the interest rate and whether to select for a fixed or variable interest rate. This could be based off where you expect interest rates to move, or if you prefer to have a clear, set amount to repay, then factoring that in. Getting a pre-approval is one thing out of the way and gives you that clarity you need to get more serious around your search. People who can help you at this stage include mortgage brokers. Things to take extra care with? The loan details. Make sure you are thoroughly educated on the terms, life of the repayment, and structure around managing the debt over time. The right mortgage broker makes this easier for you, so make sure you talk to several options before selecting the right professional who suits your needs. Step 3. Browsing, shortlisting, and selecting the right property. There are 3 ideal ways to browse properties. Canvassing online listings across a range of areas is a first phase for most buyers. Secondly, you can talk to industry professionals such as a seller and buyer's agents, or attend open home inspections. These are all ways you can see what your money will get you in the current market. You should commence the earlier browsing stage concurrently with step 2, as your pre-approval will have an expiry and will save the hassle of having to reactivate this. Whether you are an investor or owner-occupier will dictate how you go about this search for properties. There is a lot more involved when purchasing as an investor, whereas for owner-occupiers, the emphasis is on finding a property you love to live in that suits your needs and has desirable features. People who can help you at this stage are buyers agents, sales agents, the Sydney Listings team, as we look to assist when there are too many choices in a marketplace and to ensure that properties purchased through other agents are acquired at fair market value. We particularly have more to offer investors in terms of what features to look for in a good investment property and things to take extra care with. For this include buying a property at the right value and time. Every transaction in property is significant, so make sure that you are not rushed by others and use the expertise of others to ensure you always have an exit strategy, even if buying a property you intend to die in. That is, don't pay too much for a property just because you are going to live in it, in case you ever need to sell due to a change in lifestyle factors. Make sure you're aware of all the expenses associated with a property, such as strata and body corporate expenses if buying in a body corporate. Townhouses and villas are examples of this. It also is a good idea if buying a strata titled unit to check the strata report for the building to make sure there are no major levies coming up that can be an easily missed but massive expense. Step 4. Making an offer. When you are ready, make an offer on your first choice property. Remember to ruthlessly keep to your budget. If buying via private treaty, your offer is non-binding, so to speak. However, if bidding at an auction, the legislation is completely different. If selected as the winning bid in an auction, you will not be entitled to back out of the property purchase. It is important to tread carefully around auctions. A lot of investors I know actively avoid auctions, but at times they can be a good opportunity if you know what you are doing. Sometimes a property can be sold for less if it passes in, that is, fails to sell at the auction. Auctions are designed to stimulate emotion and competitiveness in bidders, so you must be prepared for this. Investors must make decisions based on strategy and research, not emotion. Take extra care with negotiation. It may not be necessary to make your best offer first. You should also be cautious of what the middle is between the vendor's asking price and your offer, as a common negotiation tactic is to meet in the middle. How you can create leverage rather than give away leverage. Have you made an offer on another property, for instance? Or can you offer an early settlement? Think about what would incentivize the acceptance of a lower offer. The CanStar article in our resources has some useful tips around preparing for auctions, such as ensure your lawyer has viewed the contract of sale before the auction. Go in with a set price limit. Have a personal or bank check on the day ready to make a deposit if you are successful. Make sure the contract for sale has been reviewed initially by a legal professional, making sure that there are no inappropriate clauses, such as a 66W. A 66W is a clause which waives a purchaser's right for a cooling off period, which is the period after the acceptance of an offer to do very vital due diligence. Step 5, pre-settlement phase. Once an offer is accepted, an initial deposit is normally arranged and the legal team normally take over the process from the agents. You'll need to do the following at this point. Arrange a building inspection, normally by a certified professional, to make sure that there are no technical or structural issues with the property that a less property savvy individual wouldn't notice. Ensure your legal representative has made a detailed review of the contract for sale and make sure all necessary inclusions are inserted. Turn pre-approval into formal approval. Pay the balance of the deposit, normally 10% upon exchange of contracts. This is the point of no return, so to speak. Step 6 is post-settlement. A lot of other literature on the buying process and steps emphasizes the importance of enjoying the post-settlement stage. This makes sense. When making a transaction of this size, parting with a good portion of hard-earned savings, it is almost vital that there be some enjoyment or major value involved for you. Settlement is normally 40 days after the end of the cooling off period and payment of the deposit. The only technical component in this period is to ensure that ongoing financial management and discipline. Don't get carried away, but maintain the disciplined habits you have learned which got you to this point. You may use these principles to invest elsewhere, inside or outside of property, or in lifestyle areas such as travel. But once again, the importance of strategy is not lost. Please make good use of the resources below, as well as supporting articles, and remember that there are cases where the Sydney Listings team and our referral partners can help you navigate this process. Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to the Sydney Listings Academy. Just a quick disclaimer that this advice is generic and is not to be used by individuals. We take no liability for misuse of this information and encourage you to seek out professional advice specific to your situation. Please reach out to get in touch with our network of trusted professionals if you so need it. And just before you take off, just a quick note, obviously we're working on something with the Sydney Listings Academy to help educate people about the potential in property, finance and investing. So if you want to support the Sydney Listings Academy, please share the content with friends, family and followers if you have them. And also follow Sydney Listings on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn and or YouTube, wherever you like to hang out, as well as our website, and check that out for more resources as well. Thank you very much guys, and we'll see you in the next video.